Hi, my name is Keith Scales, and I manage the ghost tours at the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, known as the most haunted hotel in America. We have ghost tours every day of the year with the exception of Christmas Eve, and they last an hour and a quarter. They start every half an hour, and during the week there usually be 3 or 4 tours, on the weekends 8, and on Halloween, endless.
Welcome to the 1886 Crescent Hotel and Ghost Tours. My name is Julie, so it is my pleasure to be your tour guide this evening. And so tonight, we've got a few things going. We actually have this gentleman back here with a camera, and he's going to be doing a little filming on our tour. So I just wanted to let you all know, so you can be aware. Now how the tour is going to go tonight, I'm going to give you a little history about Eureka Springs and the Crescent Hotel. We're going to see a short video, and then we're going to take a walking tour all the way down the halls and into the basement and down into the morgue. Okay, so our story actually begins hundreds of years ago when the Native Americans were here. Tribes like the Cherokee and Choctaw, but in particular the Osage. This was their area. Now, for hundreds of years, this was sacred, holy land to them. They didn't allow warring, and they didn't allow weapons on this land. When other tribes came in, it was for peaceful reasons, and this was a place of healing and peace. In fact, one of the legends goes back to a chief's daughter, and she suffered an eye ailment which caused her blindness. Well, she was brought into this area, bathed in the springs, and she was healed. Now, it was these kind of stories that were handed down, and these kinds of things, that actually attracted the first settlers into the area. So around in 1879, that's when word really started to spread. And at that time, there was about 400 people in camps all around these hillsides. Now, within 2 years, that 400 people grew to over 15,000 people. Can you imagine? We only have 2,000 here today. Wow. So that's, yeah, chaos in the growth. Now, there was directly after the war, Hal Clayton was the governor. And he felt he could contribute to some of putting back some order into the chaos. So he formed the Eureka Improvement Company. Now, he also partnered with the Frisco Railroad. And together, they started construction on what became the most luxurious hotel in the entire Midwest. Now at the time, this hotel cost approximately $294,000. It was built almost exclusively as a hotel for the rich, the politicians, even celebrities. It was a world-class resort. Now, this went on for several years very well, but around the turn of the century, people started to forget what brought them into town in the first place, the healing springs. So business started to fall. So in 1908, this building actually opened as the Crescent College and Conservatory for young women. Now, some years later, the school closed, and then in 1937, Norman Baker bought this hotel, the surrounding 28 acres, which encompassed 2 parks. He paid $40,000 for it. Depression really hit Eureka Springs pretty hard. Now, when he opened this, he put about $50,000 into renovations, and he opened it as a cancer-curable hospital. In fact, this is one of his original signs. Okay, now think about it. He opens it as a cancer-curable hospital. He's telling the world he has the cure for cancer. But you know what he did when he did the renovations? He put in a morgue. Does that make sense? No. Okay, now, from 1940 to 46, the hotel actually sat empty. From 47 on, it had 8 different owners, and then in 1997, Marty and Elise Rennick bought the property, began the renovations, and millions of dollars later, And about 5 years later, we now have our completely restored hotel. Now in 1999, they started the ghost tours, and who happened to see the 2005 episode of the Ghost Hunters from the Travel Channel, or from the Sci-Fi Channel? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna show you a little clip of that now, and that was taken in the morgue.
There was 2 jars of formaldehyde, body parts.
While me and Grant were checking out the morgue with the thermal camera, noticed something odd that I just had never seen before.
My favorite is rewind Clifford.
I immediately asked Grant to rewind the tape so I could see what we had caught on the thermal imaging camera. And upon him rewinding it, I could see a figure. I could see a figure standing right there at the door next to us.
Oh, jeez. When Jay said rewind the tape, I was expecting a flash or something.
Anybody happen to notice the screen that was alerting to the low battery?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So, who of you are taking photos tonight? Okay, watch your battery indicators. That happens here a lot. That's extremely common. So if you notice it happening, speak up. Also, something else to keep in mind is don't be quick to delete any photos. You want to go home, put them on a larger screen, get a really good look at them, because you could miss something important. Now, who of you knew that we are one of America's top haunted hotels now? Okay, but did you know that we are now ranked in the top 10 most haunted hotels in the world for paranormal activity? Yeah, top 10 in the world. Ghosts are considered to be the spirits, the souls of the departed, who for various reasons have remained earthbound. And there's some theories revolving around this. One of them is that if a sudden death takes a life like an accident or a murder, maybe they want to stick around and look after someone or something. Or maybe they are just too afraid to go on in fear of some judgment that might await them. Now, the spirits will make themselves known in different ways. You might hear them walking, you might hear them knock, you might even hear them speak. They also appear in different forms. It might be an orb, it might be a mist, or you might even mistake one for a living, breathing person. Now, some people report sensing a presence. Have you ever had somebody walk up silently behind you and you didn't have to turn around and notice they were there? They say it's part of our survival instinct. Now, one of the type of hauntings we have here is called a residual haunt. And a residual haunt happens when the surroundings, the atmosphere, absorbs, records a highly emotional event. And this isn't the type of haunting that's going to interact with you. This is like a movie. It's just going to play over and over and